everything.
This machine here has no lock. This is a stainless steel, the Home California. This is the original folder. All them Brompton boys out there, they cry when they see this bike. And notice there's no lock for it, because if I lock it, people try to steal it. So what I do is I put it in bushes. I hide it in trees. Yeah, so we're down here at Marble Arch, Extinction Rebellion, the final day of what has been a tumultuous 1.5 week process, trying to raise the consciousness of the people as to the issues facing this planet. Me as the Green Party's BME spokesperson, I'm well versed in environmental politics. And what always gets me is how, you know, we live in a global, diverse world. But when you come down here, this isn't the most diverse place. But in reality, we're fighting global issues, you know? But anyway, content over everything. You want to go on a walk and talk? Yeah, all right. Let me hide my vehicle. Up in the trees. Yeah, excellent. Nice one. That's how we do it. All right. So we're going to go meet some people? Yeah? All right. Here's what we should be doing. So this lady right here. Come here, miss. Come here. Stand here. This lady's name is Eleanor. Eleanor from South London. What made you come there today, Eleanor?
I've been involved in the Extinction Rebellion, so I'm coming to see what's happening, how people are winding up this phase.
And when you say involved, what do you mean involved? How involved is involved?
Part of causing disruption to business as usual in London to draw attention to the climate emergency, and I think it's been fantastically successful in doing that. It's really changed what people are talking about.
Okay. So there's been a kind of corporate line that you guys have just come out, made a mess, brought business to a standstill, held up the traffic, and you haven't done anything to really forward the cause. What would you say to that?
I don't think there's been a mess at all. I mean, if you've seen people picking up after themselves, it's been a real demonstration of an alternative way of living. And going down onto Waterloo Bridge, it's extraordinary, turning that over to people walking, cycling, kids on the skateboard ramp, a canteen cooking food.
Okay. And what was it that made you get involved?
I've been involved in all kinds of official activity like petitions and committees and direct action to try and improve walking and cycling, but it's just not been fast enough.
Okay. I hear that. And gentleman behind the camera, is there anything that you want to know in particular, sir?
You know the story of how Extinction Rebellion got started?
Okay, right. Yes. Can you give us some of the backstory as to how Extinction Rebellion, how it came about in the first place? Obviously, you know, don't incriminate yourself, but say what you got to say.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't really know the details of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she doesn't know fully the details there, so we're gonna go and find someone who does know the details. So we're down here at Marble Arch. There's a bag of police down here. I don't know whether they're gonna arrest anybody. Maybe. What if I got arrested on camera? What would you do? Would you cry? Would you get me bailed out? All right, come. Let's take a walk. Eleanor, thank you. They're cleaning up.
Police were fine with them being in the street and blocking off.
You want to get interviewed then? The cleaners?
That was all okay until yesterday or the day before.
Miss, I know you're cleaning up. How you doing? I know you're cleaning up. There's been this word going around that you guys just made a mess of London. You brought London to a standstill.
I only just turned up now to clean up, so...
You just came to clean up?
Yeah, I just came to clean up. But everyone's done such a good job, I'll come down from York to clean up.
You came all the way from York to clean up? What about, how far you come to clean up?
I live in West London,
So you came all the way from West London to be in West London to clean up?
Yeah.
Why are you cleaning up for?
We're cleaning up because the whole point is that we care about the planet. We don't want to wreck the planet. This week has been about disruption, but not about destruction. So we don't want to leave a mark behind that makes a mess of our city. We're proud of London. We want it to be cleaner.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So in terms of this narrative that you guys are just like a bunch of eco-terrorists, messy, grungy people who just made the city uninhabitable for a week and a half, what do you say to that?
I'd say a week and a half of disruption is nothing compared to a future of an uninhabitable planet. And the disruption was necessary to get attention for our government to finally wake up and address what is the most pressing issue of today, and to put some money behind it and to put some power behind facing our climate crisis.
I thought the most pressing issue was Brexit.
Well, they'd have us think that. They'd have us think that. But Brexit will mean nothing if our planet's inhabitable.
I hear you. I'll let you get on with your tidying. Nice one. Right. Clean up going on.
Clean up going on, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So we're from a channel called Content Over Everything.
Sorry,
Content Over Everything, yeah? And really what people want to know is, what do you hope to achieve by being down here blocking up London? That's the question. I mean, obviously I'm with the Green Party, so I know what it is they're trying to achieve. But for people who don't know, for the uninitiated.
We're trying to get the government to actually listen and to take some final action, because this has now become an emergency. I mean, it already was, but the voices are getting louder, the message is getting clearer, but the government is not engaging as much as it could be. That's the main purpose.
And do you think that by being out here today, do you think that you've achieved what you set out to achieve?
It's a ripple effect and it's a beginning. It's a start, because this is an emergency crisis that has been going on for years, and we've had the statistics, the science, but no one has actually listened. People are now waking up, and we have to wake up, because otherwise, yeah, there's a disruption in London, but actually 20, 30 years time, there might not be a London if we don't act now. It's that serious. Thank you.
All right. One final question. How long have you guys been out here? What, a week and a half in total?
I've only been here a day.
Okay, a day. Right. You see the state that the planet is in. They say that we have, I don't know, I read somewhere scientists estimate that we've got about 60 harvests left before the planet completely breaks down. Do you think that what has happened over the past week and a half has been enough? How much more needs to be done?
Ooh,
Yeah.
a lot. A lot needs to be done. And we got to curb consumption. We got to just tackle the systems that maintain these issues, these greenhouse gases. But I have heard that we are now being debated in Parliament. So something has happened.
Okay. So you mean there's more hot air in Parliament to talk about? Right.
Yeah, but it's intention first, action follows. So if the politicians are prepared to make a shift in their intention, then some action might follow. But it's the corporates. We need to get the corporates on board.
And it's not about blaming or shaming anyone, because that doesn't actually achieve anything. But if we all are aware, especially all the big conglomerates, because we, as citizens, we can do something, but it's very small, but it's on the global, it's the massive, it's the capitalists, that's where we need to really home in. So actually, because like Shell has known there's been a climate crisis for years. They did a film in 1991, and actually have they actually acted on what they did? No, they've actually. But it's a very complex. It's not black and white. There are so many factions that where the ripple affects one person in one part of the world, it affects someone else. So it's where everyone needs to come together as a mass.
Yes.
We need to come together as a mass.
Yes.
Okay, I was going to ask another controversial question, but I'll leave it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We love you.
All right, you take care. Excuse me. You're dressed like a person who needs to be interviewed. What made you come down here today?
Well, I was here first day as well when they started on Friday as well, but now and then I was coming. This is regular for my life in West End. I just come very regularly.
This is regular clothes for you?
Yeah, for me, many years, yeah.
So what kind of style is this, man? Tell me about this style. I'm interested.
This is like, I have enlightenment 8.5 years ago. Whatever I get the message, feel inside and express myself outside.
You have enlightenment?
Yeah.
What do you mean enlightenment? Explain.
Enlightenment, we are here to wake. You know, we are a little particle of the universe from Holy Spirit. So when you wake, then you realize what is.
So you see this whole thing, this whole demonstration. In your enlightened state, what do you think of this demonstration?
Well, this is a little drama anyway. This is, you can't like live the life, you can't block the road forever. I mean, that was a little bit of drama. It's over now. So today is the last day. So I knew even beginning, you can't do, because life has to go on, and the planet itself is a healing. You can't make it. We are on the planet a very minor minority, the human, and the rest is like the trees, the plant and animals and all that. It's self-healing. So we sometimes don't understand. We try to think we can destroy, we can heal it. I don't think so, because no, we can't heal it, no way, because it's a very big power what you're talking about. We are breathing in and out oxygen and carbon dioxide, but it's not in our hand. We are on the journey. We are just on the journey, and we got to play a game. But nothing wrong to have a demonstration for positivity. I'm not saying wrong or right, but I don't think you can heal the planet. That's a very big thing you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you say we can't heal the planet, but the way we live with our consumption and putting out all this gas and chopping down the forest, they say that we're actually making the planet more sick. Do you believe that?
Well, there are a little bit always happen ups and downs. I'm not gonna deny from that one, but completely you cannot do anything to planet. Itself is very powerful. Is the Mother Nature itself is very powerful. Human is not that powerful. You can think, but I don't think that way, because human have very little power. We have to go through journey, thinking naturally and positivity is nothing wrong. If something is okay, yeah.
Right. So one final one. As a person who's in an enlightened state for 8.5 years, this channel is called Content Over Everything. If there was a message that you would give to the viewers of this channel as an enlightened person, what would that message be?
Message is simple. Live a life, peace and love. Never give up, be positive. Whatever happening is not forever. Ups and downs is everybody's life. Just keep focus on positivity and do something good. You got a chance to do it. Never ever hesitate to do something good. Do something good for humanity. Whatever you can do it, yeah.
Do something good for humanity, you hear that? Be positive.
All the way. And keep watching your channel. What's the name?
Content Over Everything.
Yeah, content over everything. Everything talking about and everything. Keep watching, don't give up.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
wow. Huh?
What's his name?
What's his name? Yeah. I don't know, man. Just Mr. Colourful. What's happening with you? Okay, yeah. So, what made you come down here today?
I'm here because I've been invited down by part of the campaign called Culture Declares, and it's basically there are a group of artists who are saying that arts organisations should look at their cultural policy as well. And who are standing up against the government's climate policies too. But I'm here also because I believe in environmental justice and climate justice. I'm an artist who's also been campaigning, working with young people and looking at raising awareness around how environmental justice actually happens in the streets, in the houses of people who are poor, working class, black and brown. So I'm kind of here for talking about those issues as well.
Okay, so looking at the people that are down here, right? And one of the things that strikes me is that as much as the people here are slightly kind of grungy, they slightly middle classy as well. So there's a definite class disconnect. Why is it, in your opinion, there are more people from the lower classes down here and more black people as well, because we suffer from this stuff,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's actually been conversations I've heard about that, and what was actually said was that they're aware that a lot of because there's police activity around down here as well. It's people who look like us who are the ones that are mostly going to get targeted, treated in a different way, who probably won't have the resources to get themselves out of bail, out of the jail situations and stuff like that. So there has been spoken about. I know that they've been speaking about it, but at the same time, of course, our presence is needed because it is actually people who look like us who suffers the most. And who, you know, when it comes to food and space, we're the ones that seem to suffer from the lack of that as well.
Well, you know, a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with a lady about this issue. And I said, well, you know, one of the things that politicized us 30 years ago was the fact that you had groups like Public Enemy and X-Clan and KRS-One Boogie Down Productions that were putting knowledge out. And we had to be aware just to even engage with what they were doing. I said, right now, what we need some eco rappers or something.
We do have. There's a guy called Ian Solomon Kowal, and he's got May Project Gardens. May Project Gardens is his...
KMT.
KMT, yeah. He's doing that work. I mean, there are folks out there, but this is why what's really important is that we have to start talking about, what an activist looks like, because people are already greening their spaces, they're greening their gardens, they're planting their own food to address these kinds of issues, but they don't get on the radar because they're considered community activists. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's about what an activist actually looks like who's doing this kind of work. It's the thing that needs to be on the table, the conversation that needs to be had.
Wow, I hear that. Can you bless us?
I am an endangered species, but I sing no victim song. I am human, I am an artist, and I know where my voice belongs. The system is blind, it binds my feet. To silence my skin, no freedom of speech. I work all day so I can find peace. States of violence are at a peak. Na 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 na. 'Cause nature is life, the earth has got rights. We'll fight for her freedom all of my life. The road is long, but the struggle is strong. No justice, no peace, our victory song. Na 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 na.
Oh wow. Melted my heart. Is there more?
No, yeah, well, I'm going to do that later. That's why I'm saying I'm here.
We're going to find you. We're going
to be right here doing stuff.
Zena Edwards, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, content over everything. Sorry. I was thinking about old classic radiators. This man lived in this apartment, this space, that had these really nice radiators. I said, when you move out, tell me so I can come and rip the radiators out. And he hightailed it back to wherever where'd you go? You went to Israel, right? You shook out. And I didn't get my radiators. I was thinking radiators yesterday, and I see him today.
Might be able to get them still.
Now we're talking. That's what I like to hear. Radiators. I love radiators.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eric.
Yes.
Eric Schloss.
Yes.
Good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, bruv. I'm doing all right. I'm just down here with the guys from Content Over Everything, just trying to find out what's going on. So a man like you, I know, has got a lot to say. And some of the... Albert, what's happening? How you doing, man? And so a man like you, I know, is involved in some really powerful projects in regards to teaching about people about renewable energy and some of the stuff you did down in Brixton. So what made you come down here today, sir?
Well, obviously it's ending today, so I've been coming down over the last few days and sort of seeing what's happening, seeing the spirit that's been generated, the voice that is being sort of given out to the world, and just being part of it.
And how would you say the spirit is?
I'd say it's optimistic, despite the obviously urgent message that is being carried. I think it's very optimistic, and it's encouraging to see how people are working together, and positive. I think positive.
Okay. I hear that. Tell the viewers about some of the projects that you've been involved in, like how we know each other, for example.
Yeah, so I used to work for Repotring London, who are a community energy organisation, who are basically setting up solar power initiatives on social housing, so generating social benefit by training young people, also generating clean energy on inner city areas. and sort of localizing power generation, taking decision making into communities, which obviously is an essential part of this kind of movement, that people taking the power.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I found interesting about the stuff you were doing down at Repowering was that you made sure that you went and you engaged with the black community, which is how we got to know each other. And so when you were doing your programs, the amount of black students on the programs, like regular from the community, from the housing estates involved, was really, really powerful, because usually, that whole idea of green energy, renewable energy, is something that doesn't really concern us. So coming down here today, I mean, it's not the most diverse place I've seen, Knowing what you know about how the whole game operates, what did you think about that? I don't put you on the spot, but I know we have straight conversations.
Yeah.
Which is why we respect each other.
Yeah, I think it's undeniable, really, to say that there is a higher representation of certain demographics at these kind of movements. But obviously, our planet is something that affects everybody, and I think it's I don't know why there is maybe a disconnect. Maybe it's something to do with political decision making, or maybe it's where the perception of where power lies in society. I think that there's a whole series of issues that are kind of underlying it. But yeah.
Because I mean, for me, you always find that when you got a social movement, when it really gets to that point when the real is when the working class, the young, and the people from the black communities kind of inject that sense of militancy into it.
Right.
And up until then, it's kind of like a sort of picnic atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, I think what the planet is facing in terms of the crisis is not a picnic. It's got to be that step. That militant, non-violent, but militant step. That's me.
I think for me the essential part is that everybody needs to work together. It has to, on some level, not to negate the social issues and things that exist, but it really has to transcend all those things. That we have to work together in all capacities. Everybody's skill set needs to be brought. Everybody's energy, everybody's ideas need to come together and work as one. So.
Thank you very much, sir.
What do you hope to happen, or what do you think will happen as a result of protests like this?
So today, it might not necessarily look like it, but over the past few days when I've been coming here, the roads have been closed round the back here by Hyde Park, obviously on Oxford Street. It's been in some ways like a thorn in the side of the system. I don't know how you want to call it. So there definitely has been an increased awareness, which is, I guess, that has to be the foundation.
Yeah. Raise the awareness.
I think that there's definitely been a raising of awareness, and possibly people that are not inclined to think about these issues or to take action on these issues will be drawn into it and be forced to look at their actions. And obviously, the more people are included in that discussion, the more likely there is to be sort of decisions being made that meet a growing kind of voice. So I can't know exactly, but I think it's a building momentum, basically.
Building momentum. I hear that. Eric, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
And good to see you again.
Likewise.
Take care. Bless.
Content over everything. From your belly. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Okay, so we done Extinction Rebellion people have come out, people have been arrested. They feel very strong about the issue of, of climate breakdown, environmental degradation, deforestation, the hole in the ozone layer. You name it, these people are protesting against it. Are you saying that they're wrong to come out and do this?
I'm not saying I don't know what the specific issues, from as far as I'm concerned, campaigning against environmental degradation, against ecological destruction and pollution are correct and justified causes to engage in militant struggle. However, I think, for example, the very fact that this demonstration now is calling itself to a close, and exactly here in Hyde Park, where we have the right to assemble and gather since 1872, won by struggles of the people in order to achieve the right to speak, I think the fact that they're leaving here is